At 81 years old, Danny Trejo, Hollywood's legendary tough guy, ex-convict turned icon, was spotted in a wheelchair, fighting what fans fear might be the beginning of a painful decline. Social media erupted. Rumors swirled. A beloved action star, once unstoppable, now fragile. What if this sighting is more than an age photo? What if it's a wake-up call? Even legends must face mortality. Stay with me, because the truth behind the headlines is far more complex than most realize. Danny Trejo's life has always been the kind of story Hollywood itself might envy, but rarely lets unfold in real life. Born in 1944, he spent much of his youth entangled in drugs, crime, and stints in some of America's toughest prisons. When he hit rock bottom, Trejo found redemption in sobriety and commitment to change. Against all odds, he emerged from prison, clean and determined, and found a second chance. Starting with small roles in the mid-1980s, he transformed himself into one of Hollywood's most identifiable character actors, rugged, raw, and real. Over decades, Trejo starred in hundreds of films, from gritty crime dramas to blockbuster franchise hits. He also rebuilt his life away from crime, a devoted advocate for sobriety, a father, and a community figure working for redemption and second chances. His journey, from the margins of society to fame and respect, became part of his legacy. But even the strongest paths don't shield against time. In late 2025, photos surfaced of Danny Trejo being pushed in a wheelchair during a public outing in Los Angeles. For many fans, it was heartbreaking, the image of a man known for his brutal action roles, indelible presence, and iron will, now vulnerable, frail, dependent, mortal. Social media. Yet sources close to Trejo clarified that the wheelchair sighting was not necessarily a sign of irreversible decline. According to a recent report, he underwent knee replacement surgery. The wheelchair was meant for comfort during travel, easing stress on his joints, not necessarily a permanent condition. Trejo himself assured fans, "Everything's beautiful." But reassurance hasn't stopped the whispers. For many, the damage was done, the symbolic blow had landed. At age 81, health issues are inevitable. For Trejo, after decades of physical demands, prison, violence, stunts, long shooting schedules, aging takes a toll on more than just appearance. The body weathers, joints stiffen, energy fades. Trejo once admitted that life was never supposed to make it out of the 60s, and surviving that era already felt like a miracle. The knee surgery, while intended to restore mobility, also marks a turning point. It underscores the reality that even action movie icons must eventually slow down. The wheelchair, the cane, or the quiet walks replace storming into a set or charging onto a stage. For someone whose life was defined by resilience and motion, this shift can be emotionally painful. The fear isn't just physical decline, it's the loss of self. Trejo's life story is inspirational, but it's also heavy. The burden of surviving past trauma, addiction, prison. The expectations of legacy. The image of a tough guy fans adore. At 81, seeing himself weakened could hit hard. Identity built on strength, now shadowed by fragility. Reports from 2024 revealed that he struggled with anxiety attacks. In a candid interview, Trejo shared that he sometimes blows into a bag to calm himself, admitting that age and life's traumas still haunt him. He emphasized gratitude for being alive, but also acknowledged that every day, on the green side of the grass, feels like a blessing. For a man who has faced death again and again, in himself and outside, the psychological scars remain. But these are scars not often shown under harsh studio lights. In September 2025, a fake death report about Danny Trejo went viral. Social media exploded, mournful posts spread, fans grieved, until Trejo himself posted, "Thank you all for your concern, but I am very much alive. Someone is spreading fake news." The relief was immediate for many, but the moment exposed the sad truth about celebrity life. Even survival can become a rumor, and truth must be stamped out publicly. For Trejo, the experience must have been jarring. At 81, coping with both real physical frailty and false rumors of death, it's a strange dual burden. 1 foot in reality, 1 foot battling illusion. It's a quiet sort of tragedy. The world is quick to mourn or celebrate based on a photo or a post, not the person behind it. And for someone who's spent decades surviving real danger, this kind of attention can sting differently. Despite everything, Trejo remains, at least for now, active and working. The 2024 interview celebrating his 80th birthday mentioned upcoming film roles and public appearances. His career hasn't ended, the legacy he built still draws interest. Some projects are in post-production, and he seems determined not to disappear quietly. But there's a cost. Every red carpet appearance, every set, every public outing now carries weight. Each step requires caution. Each movement reminds him, and us, that a lifetime of resilience doesn't make you immune to time. The energy fades, reflexes dull, recovery slows down. And while the outside sees icon, inside there is a human, aging, hurting, reflecting. Even in this frail state, Trejo's legacy is immense. Over 400 acting credits. A redemption arc that few real lives can match. From prisoner to star. From addiction to sobriety. From cast-off youth to icon. For many fans around the world, he remains a symbol of resilience. If Trejo can survive that, so can I. The outpouring of concern after the wheelchair photos, the relief after his denial of death, the public messages, it shows how deep his connection with the audience runs. The fear people feel when a hero shows frailty speaks volumes about how much hope and admiration he inspired. In small ways, that love can comfort, a reminder that even if the body weakens, the spirit can live on in memory and respect. It's important to separate verified facts from speculation. We do know, Trejo is older now, he recently used a wheelchair for travel following knee surgery. He's been candid about anxiety and vulnerability. We also know he's still alive, despite fake death rumors. What we don't know, and should avoid assuming, is that he's permanently incapacitated, terminally ill, or lost everything. There's no credible source describing a catastrophic health collapse. No confirmed diagnosis beyond what's publicly shared. No statement from Trejo's team acknowledging a final tragedy. So while concern is natural, sensationalizing the situation risks spreading misinformation, something Trejo has himself publicly denounced. Danny Trejo's story reminds us that even icons, legends, and tough guy characters have to face aging, with its uncertainty, vulnerability, and sometimes pain. Time doesn't discriminate. Fame doesn't freeze you. Stunts don't grant immortality. And even heroes must slow down eventually. There is grief in that acceptance. Grief for roles unplayed, stunts unrun, strength undisplayed. But there can also be dignity in letting go. In trading action movies for quiet days. In shifting from demands of performance to demands of memory. In recognizing that survival, after prison, addiction, violence, is already a victory. Surviving another day, another breath, counts too. So yes, seeing Danny Trejo in a wheelchair at 81 may hurt. It may make us feel old ourselves. It may remind us of our own mortality. But maybe the tragedy is not that he grew weaker. The tragedy would be if we forgot why he fought so hard to live. He turned his life around once, survived hell, made peace, and built something real. That legacy remains, unshaken, unforgettable. If you're a fan, don't watch with sorrow. Watch with gratitude. Be thankful for every movie, every moment, every line he delivered. Respect the man behind the tough exterior, but don't mourn him yet. Because he's still walking, even if a bit slower, still fighting, still existing in a world where he could have vanished long ago. And sometimes, just being alive is the hardest, bravest thing of all.